Hello Taekookers, welcome back to my fictional world. Don't forget to subscribe. He considered him as a friend, but he considered him as his friend. Or Taehyung was a 18 years young boy living with his father. His mom died during his birth, and since then his father made sure Taehyung gets everything that he needs. But one thing his father couldn't give him was Jungkook. Jungkook was Taehyung's father's best friend's son, and that was not the problem. The main problem: how would his father react if he found out that his son likes a man who is 12 years older than him? Taehyung's father would not like it for sure. Taehyung never knew his childhood crush would turn into something bigger and harder for him to bear. Although he doesn't know if Jungkook had the same feelings, probably not. Taehyung thought while cuddling a pillow on his bed. Taehyung, his father called him from downstairs, making him jump from his bed and rush downstairs. Taehyung, Dad, are you finally leaving? Do you really have to? He asked sadly. Taehyung has to be alone for a week as his father has to go on a business trip. His father was not happy to leave his son alone and was worried like a normal parent. Thanks, Dad. Sorry, honey, you have to be alone. But don't worry, I asked Jungkook to take care of you and help you out with things when I'm not here. His father explained. A week alone with a man he loves. That wasn't going to end well. But Dad, I'm 18 now and I don't need a babysitter, he reasoned. Thanks, Dad. Jungkook won't be babysitter. He will be here to help you out if you have any difficulty, and you must be on your best behavior. His father smiled and gave him a long hug. Just when Taehyung's father opened the door to leave, Jungkook was standing outside with a straight face. Taehyung's eyes widened at the Hulk man. Just in the time, Cook. I expect you to take good care of my son. Taehyung's father warned Jungkook playfully. Yes, uncle, I will. Jungkook smiled, hugging Taehyung's father before he retreated with his luggage in one hand. It's time to go now. See you in a week. Taehyung's dad bid goodbye to both of them before he got inside the cab that drove him to the airport. Jungkook turned to look at Taehyung, who was already looking at the floor, blushing. He couldn't endure a mere look at him, as he would turn into a red tomato. Jungkook, it's just you and me from now on, little kiddo, he smirked. Since always Jungkook called him little kiddo, thinking that suited Taehyung's innocent behavior. Taehyung nodded softly, finally lifting his head to get a proper look at him. Jungkook stood tall, 6 with his muscular form, and Taehyung was barely 5'4". Taehyung got his mother's short height, and all of his features resembles his dad. Hey Jungkookie. Hearing his name coming out of Taehyung's plump lip made Jungkook shiver. Taehyung, I won't tell Dad if you leave now. You don't have to be here with me, he said nervously. Jungkook came closer and put his arms around Taehyung's waist, with the other with his fingers found his soft hair. Taehyung's heart was beating fast. It wasn't the first time Jungkook did the same gesture to this one. Jungkook, but it's my duty to take care of you. What if you do something bad? He teased him in his husky tone. You are my good kiddo, I'm right? Jungkook asked to Taehyung, and Taehyung just nodded. We use words when we talk, Tete. Jungkook said, noticing Taehyung's previous gesture. They knew that by the tone of his voice, he was serious. Jungkook was spreading a big dominant aura whenever he wanted. Yes, Jungkookie, Taehyung said, quietly wanting to disappear, but he felt so content in his arms, breaking the intense situation. Taehyung's stomach growled. He blushed profusely, and Jungkook just chuckled. Jungkook, I think we need to feed my little kiddo, he said, leading Taehyung to the kitchen. Taehyung was a flustered mess. Jungkook was making him dinner, but Taehyung couldn't forget that Jungkook just referred him as his. It's been 2 days, and the tension between those two were increasing. Taehyung became too shy to even look at Jungkook sometimes. But for Jungkook, it was the other way around. He just couldn't stop looking or admiring Taehyung whenever he got a chance. At night, Taehyung was writing his assignment in his room. Then his stomach growled, asking for food. He was too occupied with his assignment that he forgot to even feed himself. In just an oversized t-shirt, he headed downstairs in order to make some cereals for himself. It was good time for some Fruit Loops. He walked to the kitchen. The house was unusually quiet. Taehyung assumed Jungkook was in his room doing his work. Taehyung took the cereal from the countertop, but the bowl was too high in the cupboard. He extended his hand as high he could and got on his tiptoes. Almost there, but he couldn't reach it completely. The struggle of being short was real. Jungkook appeared around the corner in nothing but a pair of sweats. He just wanted to have water and some snack because he was done with his work. But the sight in front of him was unexpected. Taehyung's shorts were visible because his t-shirt was ridden up while he was trying to reach the bowl. He was stubborn enough not to get a chair and was determined to reach it by himself. Jungkook took a slow step towards Taehyung and engulfed his face between his large hands. Taehyung stopped his movement and was frozen. "Look what I found," Jungkook whispered in Taehyung's ears. Taehyung felt his back against Jungkook's bare chest. "Don't you know what you did to me, little kiddo?" Jungkook breathed in and out in Taehyung's ear. Tension between them was only increasing. Jungkook's lips slowly found Taehyung's neck as he gently sucked on it, leaving red marks. He wanted him to be the only person who will bear his marks. "I don't want us to be just friends," Jungkook whispered in Taehyung's ear, slowly in his husky voice. Taehyung's heartbeat rushed by a huge amount at his word. "If you have the same feeling as me, then I would be glad to take it all, 'cause I like you, Jungkook. And it's not from now on," Taehyung confessed. Jungkook stopped kissing his neck and was frozen. He exactly knew what his feelings were, and he made a decision. Turning him around, Jungkook put his muscular hand over Taehyung's shoulder, making him gasp. Taehyung only blushed, realizing he was facing his crush from too close. Taehyung gasped as Jungkook suddenly carried him in a bridal style. "I'm going to show you love now," Jungkook said and pecked Taehyung's cheek. Taehyung blushed, realizing what's going to happen. Waking up in the bed, Taehyung looked at the clock, and it was already the afternoon. He rubbed his eyes to remove sleepiness off his face when he realized Jungkook wasn't in the bed. Removing duvet from him, he blushed when he looked at his body. It was full of purple marks. He got up from the bed and rushed to the washroom to take a warm shower. Taehyung put Jungkook's large t-shirt from his closet over him, where it covered him to his mid-thighs. Then he walked out of the room and headed towards the kitchen, only to find Jungkook was making breakfast for them. He was only wearing a sweatshirt and joggers. That made Taehyung blush again. Taehyung came closer and wrapped his small hands around Jungkook's face. "Did you sleep well, little kiddo?" Jungkook asked, knowing from the touch. Taehyung hummed in response. "But I'm hungry now," Taehyung replied with a pouty face. "Well, your breakfast is done, my kiddo," Jungkook teased Taehyung. Taehyung released his hand from his waist, allowing Jungkook to turn around and plant a soft kiss on his lips. Jungkook reached for Taehyung's bottom when he pulled away. "Jungkook, didn't you have anything underneath?" asked surprised. Taehyung, "It felt uncomfortable," he replied, blushing. Jungkook groaned and mumbled something under his breath. They ate together and sat in the living room. Jungkook made Taehyung straddle him as he kissed his soft ears. Everything felt peaceful for both of them in each other's embrace.